we're going to talk about the AFC North.
We're going to start in the North. It's an interesting place to start.
This is another team that I'm like mild on, and I'm like, their stock is falling. Buffalo. I think.
So we're going to the East?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking North and I went East. Well, fuck it. Since I just mentioned Buffalo, let's go East.
Start I want to save the North for last because
yeah,
that's going to be the most exciting division in football.
Right.
Just say.
And that was one of those Freudian slips on my part. So fuck it. And I haven't drunk anything yet, but when I do, it's exciting. But anyhow, starting with the AFC East, let's do Buffalo. I think they're going to win the division.
You think Buffalo's going to win the division?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I see the Jets as being, look, they have a very strong defense. I like Aaron Rodgers there, but just like what I said about Detroit, there's just something that stank just a little bit with the New York Jets that I just can't see them getting out of their own way to win that division. Are they going to the playoffs? Yes. Are they going to get out of the first round? No. Is Buffalo going to do any damage in the playoffs? No. Patriots, I think this is Belichick's last year. He's done.
They're trash. They're bad.
Let me see. Is there anybody else worth talking about there in the AFC East? I don't know. Maybe I'll turn that over to Mclain.
Okay. So, poor Bills fans. You have been so close, yet so far. For so many years. You lost 4 Super Bowls in the 90s. You couldn't win one.
In a row.
And now you've got Josh Allen, who I think is one of the most talented all-around quarterbacks to ever play in this league.
Yeah.
Pure talent.
Yes.
If you flip-flop Mahomes and Allen and put Allen in Kansas City, I think that the Chiefs still have the 2 Super Bowl victories that they have.
Yeah.
He's that talented.
Yeah.
But they just, something about Buffalo, they can't get over the hump. It's going to be another, they're going to go to, and this year I don't even think they make the championship game in the AFC because it's just so deep. They're going to go to like the first or second round and they're going to get bounced by like Kansas City, or they're going to lose to like Cincinnati, or
yeah.
They're a good football team. But they just have that stigmatism. Unless Allen does what we're expecting, unless Allen has an MVP season.
Look, this is nothing against you, Allen. I mean,
I love that guy.
I think he's world class, everything else. But you're an Instagram model now. I mean, you're not somebody that I'm going to take out on a date. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to picking a football player,
looks like Tim Tebow.
You know, that's actually not a comparison at all for that guy. But, I mean, and I'm saying this with all manhood or whatever. It's like, dude, it's just like an Instagram model. You see them up there, you see how fine they are or whatever. She ain't going to do nothing for you, man.
Flashy numbers, yep.
That's it. I mean, and that's what he is. And Mahomes is that girl next door. Or that guy next door, but I'm using that as an analogy, obviously. That it's like, yeah, we're gonna have a good life together. So sorry, Alan.
So I think that the Bills are. I don't think they win the division.
No, not at all.
I think you just said the Bills are gonna win the division.
No, because I'm starting to turn. Because I'm really thinking now I think the Jets are going to win the division, but they're not going anywhere.
Here's why they win the division.
That defense, to me.
They have a top 10 defense. They have basically recreated Green Bay in New York. They have Nathaniel Hackett. They brought in Randall Cobb. They brought in Alan Lazard. I'm pretty sure the backup quarterback is Tim Boyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they brought in Rodgers. Now, there's a lot of expectations, around the Jets. You bring in Rodgers, that's bound to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bucs did the same thing when Brady came to town. They surrounded him with pieces, which the Packers have refused to do.
Right.
They refused year after year after year after year to surround Rodgers with the talent that he needs to win a Super Bowl.
And they kind of did that with Brady in New England.
Yeah, they did. And ever since
and let me cut you off here. One of the reasons why I turned that fast, because, when I thought about the Instagram model and I thought about Buffalo and I really looked at that team, I was like, they're not going to do shit. I mean, because it's like once you start putting the pieces together in your head and so forth, and I have the right to be wrong and I have the right to be right. And I'm like, I just don't see that. Because I think that window has passed. But go ahead.
Now, it's obviously still really, really early. No one has played an actual game yet. We're sitting here, it's 2 weeks for the regular season. The preseason has just finished up last night. All the games were played, and now it's first couple weeks of full actual. The roster 53-man cuts are coming. I think Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then first game is first Sunday's 2 weeks away, or a week and a half from the Lions September 7th Chiefs game.
Mm-hmm.
Which also shows you how much respect that the league has for the Lions to put them on opening night.
No.
But anyway. It's early. These opinions could change. Things like that happen. We're just sitting here. How do the rosters look right now?
Exactly.
And the Jets have done what the Buccaneers did when they got Brady. They've surrounded Rodgers with pieces, and they have Garrett Wilson, who's the offensive player of the year.
Mm-hmm.
They win the division. Buffalo is 2, just because of how talented they are and how good Allen is.
Mm-hmm.
3 is Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I don't think that Tua should ever take another snap in the NFL. I'm not saying this because I don't think he's good or because I hate on him, but because it's just not safe. The man had 3 concussions in one season. Get him off the field.
That's why I didn't want to mention Miami. One of the things with Miami to me...
Shit fan base too, might I add. No fans.
I mean, they have a lot of talent there. Their quarterback, if he stays healthy, could have a monster year. I just don't see it.
Neither do I.
I mean, because he's too tough in his mind for his body.
Mm.
And that's going to get him hurt.
And I think that Tyreek Hill is not a good receiver. He's just fast. He's not a good route runner. He doesn't really make any great catches. He just runs past people. Once he hits like 31 or 32, he won't be. Once he can't run by anybody, he won't be shit.
For you old school fans out here, he's Mike Quick. And am I dumping on Mike Quick? Kinda. Because he had that speed, that breakaway speed. He's a track star.
Yep.
I mean, he wasn't going to run like a hook route. He wasn't going to do all of these routes like a Henry Ellard or somebody like that.
Nope.
This dude is, up and go.
And a perfect example of a guy who... Hill is a perfect example of a guy who just runs past people. Can't run routes, can't use deceptive, just speed. A perfect example of a guy who uses route running and deceptiveness is Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Does Hill be effective into his mid-30s because
I was just
Keenan Allen is the same way.
Yeah.
Those guys, because they use route running to get open and their positioning anyway, I think Jalen Waddle is better than Tyreek Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And just because they're so talented on both sides of the ball, don't they have Jalen Ramsey?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they got Jalen Ramsey alongside Xavier Howard, they have a good defense. They're going to finish 3rd. Just because the Jets jumped them and the Bills are still better than them. And 4th, nobody's questioning this, is the Patriots. And ever since
Belichick is done.
Ever since Brady left, the question, everybody wanted to know the question when Brady left New England. Was it Brady or was it Belichick? Safe to say, it was Brady.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it now. They're 4th in the division. So that's how I got that. I've got New York, Buffalo, Miami, New England.
And even in all of that, even though we're going to get into the playoffs and so forth, I don't see near one of them get into the championship game. So I'm sorry, but let's go to another division.